and AJ and Free, 106 and Park, man. Talk about after school special. I want to say around 6 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, 106 and Park came on. And in this era we in now, with different artists, like I'll throw Sexy Red name out there just because she's the most current I can think of in terms of we just see them on our timeline and we be like, I understand, when you go out, you hear their songs, the women love it and all that, and that make the men start rocking with it a little bit. But it just kind of feel forced. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I understand they popping, but they don't always got to be on my timeline. Like, what are they doing at the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game? It's like, huh? Back then, I'm sure that played a role in, like, being on BET programming with Rap City and 106 Park. But 106 Park had, like, the top 10 countdown. So I'm thinking, if this song number 1, number 2, number 3, it got to be a good song, and this person's album got to be worth something. It's very rarely I feel like it was a song on the number 1 countdown, and I was like, this the number 1. Even if it's like Alicia Keys or something, You Don't Know My Name. This is a great R&B song, so I was like, okay, it makes sense. It's just number 1. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. That sounded about right. Any song Chingy had at the time, that sounded about right. And that made me go get these people album. And then when I hear the album, I'm like, okay, even that Chingy first album, it was straight. We're right there on there and the One Call Away. I was like, okay, it makes sense to me. Nelly, definitely. Country Grammar. Wayne. Like, any song that was on that top 10 countdown, it felt legit. B2K, and then they'll have B2K come out and all the girls passing out, screaming. I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me. Compared to now, if an artist got millions of views on YouTube, they walk past me by the street, I won't know who they are. They got 1 million views on YouTube, though, but I probably wouldn't know who they are. So that BET 106 Park, it meant something to me. The live performances, genuine live performances, seeing Wayne come out, B2K, like I say, Destiny Child, it made sense to me. That's what I grew up on. And we saw the different variations throughout the years of 106 Park. But when it started dying down, you felt it. Combined with Twitter popping at the time. And then the late years of 106 Park, they catered more to that teenage crowd. The mindless behaviors and OMG girls started popping. That was that era. So while that was still going on, we was kind of on Twitter talking about this True Religion mixtape that dropped. This guy named Future out of Atlanta popping. They was on, I know Future, I think he had a song on 106 Park probably the later years, but it was more about the internet at that time. It was more about the internet at that time, but AJ and Free definitely held it down. Bow Wow was a host. Bow Wow will miss the 106 Park. Bow Wow, he stayed on the countdown. And that's how he got his career legitimized. Like, man, this dude, he got them records. No matter how you feel about him in real life, if he corny or not, Bow Wow had them records on 106 Park. He was named Mr. 106 Park for a reason. That's one thing you can't take away from him. He is Mr. 106 Park. That's for sure. So shout out to Bow Wow for that. So going to the later years, like I say, now the internet coming into play. And with the internet coming into play, that's when I got more in tune with what this group in New York, the Breakfast Club. I seen Charlamagne on a video with Travis Porter. And that should just tell you how long ago that was. And I was like, this dude look familiar. Not realizing this the dude that was with Wendy Williams. And I used to see him on the internet, but I never knew who he was. So he did the Breakfast Club. It was Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee. DJ Envy, I remember hearing about mixtapes. And Angela Yee, I didn't know anything about until Breakfast Club. So I was like, okay, Breakfast Club, cool. And I remember that Fabulous and Ray J shit went viral. This was like my early years on Twitter. I didn't know how to work Twitter. I didn't understand the purpose. All I knew was Wiz Khalifa was talking about Twitter, and I was like, let me make a Twitter. So I got on, and I remember seeing about the Ray J Fabulous. I just remember like hearing it. I'm thinking, this must be internet radio or a recording or something. I didn't know it was like real radio at the time. And I'm seeing interviews now where DJ Envy was like, before that happened, they was probably going to get canceled. Because a lot of people, including myself, thought the Breakfast Club popped automatically. Like when we first heard about it, oh, they been doing drama and woot. They're like, nah, that Ray J and Fabulous incident is what really popped it off. And y'all can go research what Ray J was talking about with Fabulous, because that was wild. Ray J a wild cat, man. That was definitely a wild moment for Ray J talking about Fabulous and all that. So that what popped them off, and they had a good run. I watched their Jagged Edge interview recently. They still have moments on the show on YouTube, I'll say, to where it's like, okay, they go get put on Shade Room, probably go have a timeline, probably talking a little bit. They still have those moments, but they ain't had a Birdman moment in a long time. They'll probably never have another Birdman moment. They'll probably never have another Dame Dash type interview. That Birdman shit was hilarious. I was in college. I think I either just graduated or was about to graduate. And I remember seeing that on the Shade Room back when I followed the Shade Room. And I was like, damn, let me go to YouTube and check it out. So I'm thinking it's like at the end of the interview and all that. I was like, oh, this shit it's like 2 minutes long. I was like, okay, let's see what happened. And the Birdman came on bullshit. So he said, y'all gonna put some respect on my name. He said, we say my name, put some respect on it. And that took a craze of his own. Dame Dash going up there yelling, took a craze of his own. Breakfast Club had some moments. They had some moments, and then that led me to podcasting. What led me to really the pod, and I've said this story many, many times, the dude, Elliot Wilson, he posted Nori, Drink Champs. It was Nori, Jadakiss, and Ja Rule episode. And it just felt like I was a fly on the wall. I was playing 2K, drinking some peach parmesan in college, and it just felt like I was a fly on the wall. So I was with Drink Champs for a minute. Joe Budden podcast. Joe Budden podcast, a lot of people talk about after the Spotify deal. I got on in 2017 with Joe Budden podcast. 2017, it was the Charlemagne episode. Because at the time, I didn't know much about Joe Budden music. None at all, really. I didn't know anything about Joe Budden music outside of Pump It Up. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't up on his music like that. And I remember seeing him on Love and Hip Hop. And at the time, Love and Hip Hop was like, why are you on Love and Hip Hop? So I ain't really take his podcast serious. I saw about the Views Drake album. I saw that clip, and I was just like, oh, Joe Budden still doing Joe Budden shit. Look like whatever. So I seen Charlemagne was on. I said, Charlemagne on it. Maybe they got some good dialogue. So I watched the Charlemagne episode, and I was locked in since then. My favorite years of the Joe Budden podcast, 2017 to maybe mid-2019. That was like my favorite era. After Mal and Rory left, they did take a drop a little bit. I did like Joe Parks, Ish, and Ice when they were still in Park Crib. I did like that. When Versus was still going on, that was like the last leg of that good run. But